Ukrainian leaders condemning the latest Russian missile strikes that have killed at least 2 people and injured dozens more. The strikes coming after the Ukrainian president warned that war is coming back to Russia after a drone attack on Moscow yesterday. Sky's military analyst Sean Bell joins me now. Sean, let's just start with those developments on the ground, first in Ukraine, and then we'll move on to Moscow. What's been happening in Ukraine?
There's been a bit of an exchange of missiles and drone attacks. But if we start with the Russian attacks on Ukraine, up in the north there, Kyiv has been attacked, at least 1 death down up there. Down near you and Kherson, there's been another attack, at least 1 person dead. We're not sure about the number of injuries. But the big attack has been at Kyiv, which is President Zelensky's hometown. Got a lot of imagery here. There have been at least 5 people killed there, including a 10-year-old, which we believe is a young girl. And there's something like 53 injured. But when you look at the carnage, this number's been rising steadily throughout the day, and it seems very likely that that will increase further. It comes also with President Zelenskyy talking about the war returning to Russia after the drone attack on Moscow itself. Now, Ukraine never comments publicly on these sorts of attacks, but tactically, it won't have been a significant attack. But if you imagine this is the centre of the capital, if this was in the middle of London, it would have Londoners fearing for their lives. And on the back of Russian economy, which is on the way down as well, it creates an air of instability, which is definitely all targeting President Putin, his vulnerability.
How will the West react to Volodymyr Zelensky's words that the war is coming to Russia, is coming home to Russia?
It demonstrates a little bit of pressure and friction between the two, because President Zelenskyy will want to be taking on Russia on Russian soil. But, of course, the only way he can do that is with Western weapons. And the West has been offered those weapons on the clear understanding that they won't be used on Russian soil for fear of escalation. As a result, President Zelenskyy is tied to using his drones to do the attack. And as here, this is a part of the damage done in Moscow. It's not significant, but it does have strategic consequences. And as by way of illustration, in World War II, when Japan attacked the Americans at Pearl Harbor, the Americans desperately wanted to attack Japan but Japan and Tokyo was so far away, it was just not possible. So they dreamt up the Doolittle raids, which was a bunch of Mitchell bombers leaping off the end of aircraft carriers. They'd never done this before. They had to strip out everything from the inside. It was a one-way mission, but actually they were successful and they managed to bomb Tokyo. Now, the damage in Tokyo was not militarily significant. It was a one-off, but psychologically it was a very, very damaging for Japan. It made everybody in Japan, and particularly those in Tokyo, realise that they were part of a war. And many historians say that was an inflection point. This is exactly what President Zelenskyy is trying to do by doing these drone attacks against Moscow, just gradually whittling away at President Putin's power.